All right, so let's say you're on the stage now where you guys have found a resource that you want to use. The resource had a couple of pieces of evidence that answer your inquiry questions. You've completed annotating the resource using your blue, your red, your green, your orange colored pencils. You've identified qualitative and quantitative observations. What you need to do is you need to add that resource that you want to use to your bibliography. And now here's the way to do this. You need to, at first, uh, thing you need to do is you must make sure that you are logged into Noodle Tools, all right, and that you are on your dashboard for your account here. All right, so you should log into Noodle Tools if you have not done so already. And then once you log in, when you get to projects, you guys will click on your project and it should take you right to your dashboard here. Okay. Now, once you are here on your Noodle Tools account, what you are going to do, you need to make sure that the resource that you want to use is in front of you because you need to pull information from your resource. So what's going to happen is as soon as you guys pull the information from the resource in front of you, you're going to take the mouse and you're going to click on Bibliography. Now, because you guys, I made mine junior as well because you guys are going to be working with junior, so I want you to see the exact same thing. Junior, the difference between starter, junior, and advanced in terms of style is just the amount of citation options that you have. Okay, so let's say that my citation or my resource came from a website. So I'm going to click on website and I'm going to click on create citation. Now, if your resource is a journal or if it's from an actual magazine or a newspaper or the database Search Discover that I discussed with you before, you would choose one of those options and then create citation. But for the sake of the argument, let's say mine's from a website. I'm going to click on Cite a website and then click on Create Citation. Now, I'm going to click on Continue. Okay. They have you check your source. So to make sure this is what it looks like, and yeah, this is what it looks like. It came from one of these type of websites. Mine's from Popular Science, so similar to National Geographic, it came from a web page. So I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to click on Continue. Now when I click on Continue, this pops up. Okay. Now this is how you're going to make, basically, and you're going to cite your resource. Now this is why I said you need to have the resource in front of you, because you need the author's name or the contributor's name, you need the web page it came from, you need the date of access, the date of publication, the URL, the publisher of the site, and the name of the website as well. All right, so you need a lot of the information there. So I'm going to start with the author first. So the author of my resource is Paul. Doesn't have a middle name. The last name is Watkins. All right. Now, if I had another author, if there were two, I would click on Add Another Contributor. If I had three, I'd add on another one. But since Paul Watkins is my author, I'm going to add it. Let's say you don't have an author. You'll delete this, and there'll be no contributors, because some resources you may find may not have an author. Since mine has one, again, I'm going to type in Paul Watkins. Now, the web page or document article title. This is the title of the article right here. Okay, so the title of the article on the web page is Water Wasted in Everyday Activities. I'm sorry for the quotes. They're going to do that on their own. So I'm going to put the title right there. Okay. URL comes from popsci.com. So I'm going to type in popsci.com. Now the date I accessed it, let's say the date that I accessed it was today, March 5th, 2015. Let's say the publication date, though, was from March 2014, the date that this article came out. Let's say it was March 2014. Or to make it easier for you guys, let's say it was September 2014. But in this case, if I'm looking at the actual article, oh, it has one. All right, it is October 2013. I guess I don't have to make one up then for an example because it has it right here. So this is the date of e-publication. E-publication is when it was first published, and in my case, on my resource, it is saying October 2013. All right. Now, the name of the website is Popular Science. Actually, I wanted to show you this, though. I chose my resource because of this instance. Popular Science, PopSci, I know it's a website, but it's a magazine as well. So I'm going to change this to, you see where it says website? I'm changing it to magazine because it's a magazine article uploaded through a website. So I'm going to click on magazine. Here's the name of the website again. So now I'm going to go Popular Science. Up here, the name of the magazine is Popular Science. And again, the publication date was October 2013. So I'm going to make sure that I have all my other information. Everything is done. And now I'm going to make sure that this says include the source in my final works cited. You always want that. Now click submit. Now what happens is, now I have, under my bibliography, I have my one resource. So for each of the 5+ resources you guys are going to find, each time you find a resource you want to use, you're going to go to this bibliography page on your Noodle Tools. You're going to click on, you're going to find what type of resource it is. Is it from a book? Is it from the database or Discovery I showed you? Is it from a video? Is it from an interview, a journal, a magazine, a newspaper, a website, etc.? And when you click on Create Citation, you guys will fill in the necessary information that is required and that is given to you from the actual resource. So let's say my second citation is a database. Let's say it's a journal from a database. I'm going to click on journal. This is actually from my second resource. So the name of the database is SIRS Discover. Let's say I access it again, March 5th, 2015. My author's first name is Francis. Sorry, I spelled that wrong. Make sure, as I went back, please make sure that you're spelling the names and the titles correctly. Look where. Article title. Water usage in facilities. The pages 1 to 10. Name of the journal I'm going to look at on my resource. Name of the journal is Water Conservation International Studies. There's no volume, there was no issue, but the year it came out is shown, 2011. I fill in all the information. I'm going to click submit. And now as shown, here are my 2 resources. So again, as you go through each resource, please make sure that you guys go to bibliography and that you guys are adding each citation. So by the end of your research, or by the end of your researching over the next 2 to 3 weeks, before we actually start compiling and synthesizing the evidence that you found, for each resource you find, you should be adding it to the bibliography page on your Noodle Tools account. Again, if you have any questions, please email me.